Hi everybody, I'm doing the Devil card today and I hope you are enjoying the series. I'm doing it in between readings and so that we get a regular flow, and today we are at number 15. 1 and 5 is 6, so that means balance. So perhaps it might help you, if you know more about the devil, to bring you back in balance, because when you get the devil card it means usually that we are out of balance. So I'm going to talk about the mythology, the story about it, behind it, and also the meaning, and I've written it down and I've used my information from the Mythic tarot book, and also my research and my own knowledge and what I think about the devil. Thank you very much for all your likes and shares, and this is a really good card because you can see the chains here and they're around the people's neck, and I'll try to enlarge it even a little bit more so that you can see. There you go, you can see it's tied around the people's neck and the arms are free, and he is half man, half animal, and he also plays the panpipes, and he's got horns, and this is a cave, so that means the underworld. That's why we talk about two worlds. Now if you followed the series right from the beginning, then you can also know that he was the god. I think in the death card he was mentioned, and it follows up. It's really great how they flow into each other, the stories. So have a look at the death if you want to know more about how the devil originated. We might get it back in the book. The card of the devil portrays satire, a creature which is half man and half goat, dancing to the music of pipes which he holds in his left hand. In his right hand he grasps two lengths of chain, each attached to the collar around the neck of a naked human figure. The figures, man and woman, wear tiny horns like those of satire, although their bands or hands and feet are free to dance. They are held by their chains of fear and fascination, for the music around them loomed the dark walls of a cave. The goat in myth was associated with lechery and dirtiness, and was considered an unclean and lustful animal, but the goat also symbolizes the scapegoat, the person or something upon whom people project their inferior sides of themselves in order to feel clean, more righteous. Thus Pan, the devil, is the scapegoat within which we blame for our troubles in life. The dark and the doorless cave implies that Pan dwells in the most inaccessible realm of the unconscious. Only crises can break through the wall into his secret chamber. The dancing figures are free, if they so wish, to remove their chains, for their hands are not bound. Bondage to the devil is ultimately a voluntary matter which consciousness can release. Here we meet the great god Pan, whom the Greeks worshipped as the great All. In myth, Hermes fathered Pan. Here we go with the story. On the nymph Dryope. The child was so ugly at birth, with horns, beard, tail, and goat legs, that his mother ran away from him in fright, and Hermes carried him upon Olympus for the gods' amusement. Carried him up to Olympus for the amusement of the gods. Pan haunted the woods and pastures of Arcadia, and personified the fertile phallic spirit of wild untamed nature, but it could also occasionally be friendly to men, guarding flocks, herds and beehives. He took part in the revel of the mountain nymphs and helped hunters to find their quarry. On one occasion he pursued the chaste nymph Syrinx to the river Ladon, where she transformed herself into a water reed to escape his unwelcome hairy embraces. There, since he could not longer distinguish her from all the rest, he cut several reeds at a random and made them into a syrinx of pan pipe. From Pan's name we derive the word panic, because we amuse himself by giving lonely traveller sudden frights. He was despised by the other gods, but they exploited his powers. Apollo, the sun god, wielded the art of prophecy from him, and Hermes um, copied a pipe which he had let fall, claimed it as his own invention and sold it to Apollo. Thus the brilliant sun god received both his music and his prophecy illicitly from the goatish, ugly and untamed god of nature. So that is a much friendlier way it's explained to us in the mythology. So yeah. But on another level, Pan is the devil, is the image of bondage to crudest, most instinctual aspect of human nature. And that's where I'm going to leave it. If you want to know more about it, then get the book by the Mythic Tarot by Juliet Sharman and Burke and Liz Green. Now I'm going to go into a bit of my own translation or understanding of the card and the story. The devil indicates a path of temptation and confusion as you continue your journey through the 78 cards or passage of growth. This is the level on your continuous cycle of change where you need to learn to control your impulses instead of allowing them to control you. You may become ensnared in a web of constraint and illusion and lose your ability to resist temptation if you give in to your desires without thinking about the consequences. It's also possible that you were conned by someone you thought cared about you and thus were blind to their true intentions. The devil does not have a great deal of power over you, but will try to entice you to do things you normally would not do, possibly luring you down the wrong path when you cannot see through his illusions. So here we've got the bad magician. Okay, the magician can also be the devil. That's what I'm getting through this feeling of illusions and disillusions. You might end up relinquishing control and getting trapped, or give your power away and find yourself besetted by ills. You should not fear the devil, but rather yourself. The devil is associated with something or someone who has a lot of power and control over you and is difficult to resist. When you give in to the temptations, you will be chained to your desires for that which harms and you might end up in a very sticky web. Always remember you can easily escape web and of bondage if you want to. So if there is somebody that is bossing you, dictating you, and manipulating you, you have to learn to say no. This is also addictions. In the numerology it is number 15, but the devil also consists of one, and that's a new beginning. And number 5 is unpredictability, and an unpredictable lifestyle, being out of sorts, being out of balance. 1 and 5 make 6, making a heartfelt decision to connect with the right relationship and balance. That is what it means. Probable outcome: when you get this card, you may be chained to your addictions or to a controlling relationship that is not good for you. You could be stuck in a sticky web or a situation of bondage because you are not ready to make the changes you need to make, or you might not be able to see through the illusions involving you. Perhaps you are too close to someone and cannot see the lies they are telling you, or someone might be working against you and cannot see through their false smiles or broken promises. It's also possible that you are ready to take a risk and cut yourself loose to live for the moment and give in to your sexual desires because you are lusting for another person. When surrounded by positive cards, the devil could mean the person you are seeing may make a commitment that will lead to marriage. So I will repeat that. When surrounded by positive cards, the devil could mean the person you are seeking may make a commitment that will lead to marriage. Possible outcome: you are ready to start a meaningful relationship that leads to marriage and will change your lifestyle. You might be ready to get help with an addiction that could also be a meaning. Or you are not stuck in some illusion. You can see everything clearly and will not let others use you or abuse you or control you. Then you might not be able to channel the devil's energies into your life at this time. If this is the case, you might want to end a relationship because your feelings have vanished. You might want to divorce or want to liberate yourself and leave the sticky web of bondage and the relationship that is not right for you or fulfilling you. Then again, you might not be able to channel the death's energies either, as this card